Well, I'm here in the shop with my good buddy Gary West from Gary West Motorsports. How you doing?
Good.
Car's
Yep.
looking a lot better than last time we were out here, that's for sure.
It has come a long way, John.
So you want to kind of walk us through the progress that's been made since the last time we checked in on you?
Golly. So we've done a lot for sure. So all the panels were replaced except for the roof and one fender. So we replaced all the body panels. We've got a new seat. We got new seat belts. We got a helmet pumper we installed. And golly, you cut the shaft down for the steering wheel, and we got that squared away. It also has a new fire suppression system in it, and then we had to put also a high-low switch in for the helmet pumper, and also a new disconnect switch. It was behind the seat. The rules say they like for it to be there in the center, so. That way the safety crew can get to it from the other side. So we got that squared away. We got all new bearings in the rear end. We've got new seals. You guys made extensive repairs back here. We got a new fuel tank. We've got new upper layer, lower A-arms. Golly, the list goes on. I know I'm forgetting something. And we've got basically a new engine.
Yeah, we can't forget about that. That's sort of the task for the day, is getting the beating heart back into this machine.
Yep, that's where we're at for today. So that came from Sperry Engines in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Scott Sperry built this engine. He's a pretty well-known engine builder in that that area. And so everything's new except for the block and the crank. So even the distributor failed on the dyno, so we got a new distributor as well. So if we can get this in today, Julie's kind of on a little parts run, I think, for us. Then if we can get this in, and we'll be making a little more headway. But time's closing in. We don't have much time.
Yep.
April 22nd.
Got about a little over a month before the first race.
Yep. It's gonna be tough, but we'll think we'll get it done.
So you know me, I'm a big engine guy. You want to kind of talk a little bit about what's different on this versus, say, like our B-mod engines. You know, we kind of get to the same place by a little different route. So with this, you can run like the Vortec heads, and
Yeah.
but you got a lift rule on your cams, right? It's like 500 thousandths max lift on the cam.
John, you know I'm a musician, and when we talk about engines, that's out of my category. You probably can speak better about that than I can, for sure.
That's fair, but I guess the main story is what it made on the dyno, right? So we're looking at what, about 450 horsepower out of this thing with a 4-barrel carburetor.
Yep.
So it ought to push this car around the track pretty good.
Yep. So yeah, anything you want to add about that, you can. I don't know a whole lot about it.
I don't want to give away, any of you and Sperry's secrets on what you guys did, with the motor, right? We just know that it's all 100% legal, right?
Yeah. And then there's not a whole lot of secrets on it. These are really pretty stock engines, I think, from what I understand in the rules and the way this series operates. They try to help, keep the cost down. We don't have expensive shocks like the late models. That's one of the main differences, but the Mid-Am series is a great series, and like I said, they try to help keep the cost down, so guys like me can participate, and it's still breaking us.
Well, I know how that goes. But yeah, we're getting ready to drop this thing into the engine bay here. So we've got the wide array of ratchet straps supporting the transmission. We got everything all cleared out of the way as well as we can, and as soon as we get couple more things buttoned up on the motor, we got to get the oil pressure sending unit on it. We just got the starter and the motor mounts bolted on. But yeah, as soon as that stuff's all ready to go, we're gonna drop her in there.
It'll be exciting. I want to hear it run, but it ain't gonna be today. But
yeah, I know, because we still got to do headers. We got to hook up the power steering.
Yeah.
We got to do alternator. Yep.
We did switch over to an alternator. Before it didn't have an alternator, so running the helmet pumper plus the electric fan, we decided we probably better go with an alternator. So that's something else we got to do.
All right, man. Well, it's coming right along. Obviously, the car looks amazing with this new wrap on it. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so Dan Fredrickson Signs, a lot of folks who follow ARCA late model know who Dan Fredrickson is. So I got to meet him. I'm like, oh, I know this guy. So yeah, his team, Billy, I can't think of his last name just off the top of my head, designed this and applied it, and he sent me the first proof of it. He said, this is only the first one, and I'm like, I love it. I said, can we do the numbers in orange? And that's really the only thing that he changed. And he changed all the sponsors to color coordinate with the rest of the car. And I just like, oh, this looks great. I love it. So it's come a long way, and well, I really couldn't be happier with it. We're going to Rockford. I know it's supposed to be rough there, so just nobody touch my car, okay?
Well, you've only really got two options there. If you're way out in front or if you're way out in back, you're pretty safe.
Yeah. And I'm going to start in the back. It's going to be our first race, and I don't think we're even going to get to shake this car down before the race. I'm on the road the week before playing shows, and I get back, and we race 4 days later. So the schedule's real tight. So we're just going to take it. We're going to start in the back. We'll just take it easy, and we got some good races coming up. We got Hawkeye Downs, I believe, is the next weekend. And Hawkeye Downs was kind of my home track, running the Legends. But we're on the half mile, and we ran on the quarter mile. So it'll really be a lot of fun on the half mile, and I'm really excited about going down there and seeing all my pals and getting the race on the half mile. That'll be a hoot. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out there and spotting for you. That's going to be a blast.
Absolutely. The voice of calmness.
We'll see. As long as you don't do anything too stupid out there, I'll keep my cool. But yeah, you want to talk about like the amount of work that it takes to make something look this good. Let's take a look at these numbers here. I don't know if you guys can tell on the video, but like each different color is actually a different layer of vinyl. Like There's a seam there, like that red, that fluorescent orange. So they had to, not only did they have to cut that all out and lay it all in there with no bubbles or anything, but they had to lay like 3 or 4 layers of vinyl on top of each other. So that was definitely a pretty labor-intensive process.
This one over here, I watched them cut it out. They said it took about a day and a half to cut all this stuff out. All the, like you said, the layers. This here has 2 layers as well. So yeah, it's a lot of detailed work went into that.
So yeah, definitely big props to that. You said it was Dan Fredrickson and his team that lettered the car.
Yep.
And you said they cut that out by hand?
Yep. And then also Swanson, car number 100, if you follow the ARCA stuff, he's Tristan Swanson. He's a great driver. So it's not every day you have Tristan Swanson working on your car doing graphics, and he is an amazing driver. So
well, hopefully some of the magic from the fingertips, rubbed off.
I hope so. Yep, that would be great. I could sure use the help and use the luck. That's for sure.
Awesome, Gary. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing this thing hit the track. Looking forward to getting the engine in it today. Any, you want to thank anybody or any sponsors or anything? Anybody new that's come on since the last time? I know you've had quite a few people step up to help with the car.
Yeah, of course, Nashville I-24 Campground has been with me. They've sponsored shows. They've sponsored me racing. They're just great folks in Nashville. And of course, the Toy Box Saloon in Kilkenny. Chips Hardware in Waterville, and then Rivertown Guns is in Ripley, Ohio. And people ask me, well, how'd you get a sponsor in Ohio? But Joanne and her husband Nelson used to book me on the road, and they're in Ripley, Ohio, so they own Rivertown Guns, and they sponsor me. And then Kevin Kopishki is Kopishki Poured Walls. It's here in Elysian. He's been really generous and really helped me, and probably that's how I got this wrap done. Got ready to do it, and he was out of money, and he said, just go get it done. So
yep, and us over at Ross Racing have to thank Kevin and his son Cole as well. They're going to be on the 64 B mod as well, and on Patrick's. I don't know what number he's decided to go with, but on the Mod Light as well. So they're awesome folks. They're going to help us out in the pits, and can't thank them enough.
Absolutely, yeah, I'm sure grateful for them. And I'm a poor old broke down musician, so I wouldn't be doing this without them. And lastly, I don't want to forget Dylan's Double D's bar over in Elysian. I play over there for them guys once in a while. So just really thankful to have this kind of support. It simply wouldn't be possible without them. I hear, you're NASCAR guys, well, I wouldn't be able to do it without my sponsors. But being just a poor old musician, there's no way I could do this without it. And I got to thank you, John. My wife says and talks to people all the time. She goes, I don't know what we would have done without John. I mean, you're just a great guy, and you have a lot of knowledge and a lot of patience, and we're very grateful for all your help and your work, man. Thank you.
Well, you're more than welcome, Gary. It's been quite the adventure working on this thing. Like you said, a lot's been done to it. You gotta, anybody who's interested in following this, you can check out. You see GaryWestMusic.com on the back bumper there.
Yep.
He's a country music star and a race car driver.
But we got racing stuff on there too. But also, John's you're gonna be driving in a couple races. So
yeah, so that's I guess we haven't officially made that announcement yet. That is part of the deal with me teaming up with Gary on this car. Is I'm going to be behind the wheel a couple times.
Yep.
Trying to hopefully make it to one of the races out at Rockford Speedway. It's a sad deal that they're closing that track down. But little known fact about me, that's actually my original hometown. So I've never gotten to race out there. I really want to do it one time before they shut her down. So we're going to try to get out there once.
It'll be fun to watch you wheel it around, and I can holler at you on the headset. So I'll spot for you. And
yep, it'll go both ways.
I'll be going, watch out for that guy, John. Don't wreck the car.
So yeah, that'll be towards the end of the season. That way Gary gets a chance to wreck it before I do.
Or we get a chance to put it back together, one of the two. But I think we'll do good, keeping it together, and we'll be more competitive next year. But who knows, we just don't know. This car has a long legacy and history of championships and wins. I'm trying to think of the guy that drove it before, Hodak. It had 40-some wins on it and 3 championships. So, and then I know that Hodak had at least 26 feature win stickers on here. So it was a good car. It needed a lot of work, but I think we've got it back to life. So.
Yep, that was all before we got our grubby little paws all over it. But hopefully we've made it better and not worse.
Yeah, I hope we have too. I think we will have. So it's pretty exciting. We'll see how it shakes out.
Right on. Well, I think it's about time to eat some pizza, and then it's time to stab a motor in this.
Let's do it, man.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Gary.